In the 1920s, Diego Rivera received a grant from the Mexican government to go to Italy to study the Renaissance technique of fresco painting. He eventually returns to Mexico, and when he's there, he receives commissions to create these public works. And you have to understand that creating these large-scale public works inherently is a very political action, because it's art for the people. It's art that is not sequestered away in the sort of privileged space of the art gallery. And the content of these murals had to do with the rediscovery of Mexico's people, of their own indigenous past and their own history. And there were a lot of archaeological digs that had happened that people were getting very interested in. One of the things that came out of those digs and that people were very interested in was a stone statue of an Aztec goddess named Cuatlicue. And you can actually see it in these murals. So there is a stamping press in the River Rouge murals, and it very closely mimics the statue of this stone goddess. So if you look at an image of this stone goddess and you look at this stamping machine in the River Rouge, it's not a mistake. Diego was very aware of this, and this was entirely purposeful. Diego Rivera was also very interested in pre-Columbian artifacts. And so in these murals, you can actually see an interest of both Mexico's indigenous history and the sort of reverence as technology. So he's representing technology in these murals as something that should be revered almost to the same level as religion. These murals depict the relationship between man and machine in the age of technical reproduction. And we've uncovered some interesting material in the Benson Ford Research Center that have to do with the materials use in these murals. So in order to make a fresco, you only need 4 things. You need pigment, you need sand, you need lime, and you need water. But all 4 of those things have to play very well together. So the initial sand samples that Rivera was using were actually taken from a local source. They were taken from Lake St. Clair, but they were full of impurities. So this material wasn't acting as it should with the rest of the fresco materials. So eventually somebody from the DIA wrote to the River Rouge, and they said, I know that you guys use silica sand in your glass manufacturing, and this is chemically processed, so it's entirely free of impurities. And so what ends up happening is Diego uses that material. So I think it's very fascinating that from a material standpoint, you have Diego Rivera using this pre-industrial technique of fresco. It's a very old technique, but he's using materials that have been industrially cleansed and are being used at the River Rouge, and he's using those materials to depict machinery at the River Rouge in the celebration of technology.